Put on a suit, drink water, don't drink and drive.
Game over!
Take it light. Stay.
Now you're more fluent.
He's got three!
Up, Bears. So this is really good right here. Absolutely. Let's do it.
Welcome back to Texas Rangers with the Boys. We are the Boys, your daily Texas Rangers podcast by a couple of pro wrestlers who love Rangers baseball. We want to thank you for making us the first listen of your day. This is your boy Kev, a.k.a. YBK, Kevin Frazier. And the Cardiac Rangers have come to life. We see the Texas Rangers pull out really a huge win for this team in the bottom of the ninth, pull out had us all sweating there. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about a couple of bats that the Rangers might be getting back here in the next couple of weeks. And we're also going to talk a little bit about just a brief minor league news. And then we're going to give you a box score, and we're going to preview the rest of these games that the Rangers have to win versus the Chicago White Sox. Before we start talking baseball, don't forget to check me out on social media, Kevin Lee Frazier. Don't forget to check out Texas Rangers with the Boys on social media, TX Rangers WTV. Don't forget to check out that website, TexasRangersWithTheBoys.com.
All one word.
Yes. And also don't forget to check us out right here on YouTube on the Sports Fluent Network. Just hop into that little search bar at the top and hit Texas Rangers with the Boys. And then you'll get to see our made for radio faces. You get to see the man bun of YBK. So worth every bit of admission. Again, big shout out to our farm hands who are our big-time followers on our exclusive content down on the farm with the boys. As always, joining me from the East Coast in the Trader State of Pennsylvania, the 300-pound manimal, a.k.a. Bull. How you doing, brother? Where can they find you on the socials?
I don't think the Trader State is what they go by here.
That's what Cowboy fans call it.
Well, I mean, I'm not in Philadelphia.
Close enough.
Although I do think I got asked at a party on Saturday night if I was a Cowboys fan. And then when I said no, there was like the biggest relief on that person's face of all time. Like, because, people want to like me,
Yeah, they want
that goes. Everybody wants to like me. And I didn't want to, not that I am a Cowboys fan. We all know I'm a Buffalo Bills fan, whatever. But, man, that kid was ready to hate me the moment that I was going to say I was a Cowboys fan. But we did talk about high school football stadiums and how amazed he was by those when he came to Dallas. But anyways, doing good up here in Pennsylvania, man. Had a real lazy day of just sitting on the river. I wanted to remind all Ranger fans tomorrow, if you're not doing anything from 10:15 to 11:15 a.m., Evan Carter is going to be at the Whataburger in Mesquite. So, if you want an Evan Carter or EFC autograph, remember Evan Full Count. You want that autograph, you might as well go out there to Mesquite and get one, because it's going to be a lazy Wednesday in Dallas for sure. I guess today's Tuesday, right? Yeah, Tuesday show, Wednesday. So if you're not doing anything, we won't be here tomorrow to remind you. So thought I'd get that in. Having a great time in Pennsylvania. Really enjoying the weather up here. But I know that, of course, just as it always happens when I go on vacation, the weather always seems to break in Dallas as well. So, I'm sure it'll be nice and hot when I get back Friday, July 26th. For Matt War Pros at the Southside Preservation Hall. Ultraviolet Dreamers.
I had you.
It's a hypothermia mania.
Yeah, it is.
And if you want to find out if I'm going to be there, you should check out Twitter at Manimal Bull, Instagram Manimal300, or Facebook and TikTok and Facebook at Bull Pro. So, if you want to find out whether I'm going to be at long beard and long hair. Sometimes you get hair in your mouth. It happens.
Yes, it does.
But long story short, if you want to come out, you want to see if the Manimal is going to be at the Southside Preservation Hall on Friday, check out those social medias. Come on out to Matt Ward Pro on Friday, July 26th. It's a hypothermia mania, and you're going to want to be there. We're going to have all the great wrestlers from Matt Ward Pro, including the Manimal.
Mm.
And we're going to have our friends out at Kelly's Onion Burgers out back doing the hamburgers. We're going to have Starry's ice cream inside with the dessert treats. And our friends over at Martin House Brewing are going to be there giving away all the free beer that you can drink if you can prove that you're 21 years of age or older. So Friday night, July 26th, it's going to be a big time. Looking forward to it. Now, let's get into what we're here to do.
Yeah.
And let's talk about some Rangers baseball because, man, I was drinking tonight. That's how bad things were going up until that bottom of the ninth inning. Paul DeJong hit a home run, and I just drank a whole beer right now. I couldn't handle it no more.
Because there's not a whole heck of a lot to cover on that box score until we get to the end of the game. So we'll talk about the game here in just a little bit. But let's first talk about the exciting news that we got on the broadcast today, that we saw a video of Josh Young taking batting practice. He looked like his normal self. He falls over every time he swings. So looking normal. His bat speed looked good. He looked like just normal. It didn't look like he had any hitch at all. No video of Evan Carter. But when I looked over here at the injury report, it looks like Josh Young is looking for a weekend rehab assignment coming up. I got it. They didn't exactly say where. It's probably Round Rock. So he's probably going to get out there, swing the bat a few times, and hopefully be ready to get back up here and play some ball. And then they said Evan Carter is a couple of days behind him. So I don't know if I'm buying it. I didn't hear anything. I haven't seen anything official. So we're just going to wait and see on Evan Carter.
No, 100%. And we'll just be happy to get some guys back in the lineup that can help produce here. Just because there was a win tonight and, hey, look, give Eric Fetty his due. He's been really good this year. But this, like me and you talked about before the show, and you said this, and you're right. Eric Fetty is a guy that the Rangers would have feasted on last year. And there's no doubt about it. And, this year to see him work into the seventh inning and give up a couple of solo shots and the Rangers just not be able to piece anything together. I'm in Pennsylvania, so I didn't get a chance to watch the game. I'm following it on the MLB app instead of actually watching the game. And so, I'm looking at pitch placement and all that stuff, and the pitches are in the right spots. But, again, corners and, against guys that don't throw super hard. Last year they were killing those guys. So anybody that they can get back to help solidify that lineup, including Josh Young and Evan Carter, definitely need those guys back. And Josh Young especially, because he's been so much of what the Texas Rangers have been the last couple of years. And it feels like, and I'm not saying that this is exactly how it is, but as Josh Young goes, the Rangers kind of go as well. And you never know. That could be the spark that they need today, regardless of how it happened or whatever the case may be. They pull their second half record up to 500, and they've still got 3 more of these things with the White Sox, and there isn't an Eric Fetty on the mound for the rest of these things.
Yeah, Rangers are going to get the better end of the deal as far as pitching goes from here on out in this series, and we'll preview the rest of the games here in just a little bit. But I would say, get some bats back would be great. But the point I want to kind of make is that, when we talked about Fetty, I'm not taking anything away from this guy at all. It's just that it's amazing to me that, like, all of a sudden, when the Rangers decide that they're going to have competitive at-bats and they're going to really make a pitcher work and really make them sweat and foul pitches off and make them throw strikes that they need, throw the ball down the middle where they can hit the ball, all of a sudden they can do it. And I think
because in that ninth inning yesterday, they got really good at-bats from both Nate Lowe and Jonah Heim in the ninth inning.
Well, and even Foscue, who ended up striking out, he had a really good at bat. He just got beat on a good pitch in the last pitch of the inning. But
he got caught out of the strike zone.
Well, and he was working, they were working. It's just, they just seemed like they were up there waving their bats around until it got down to the crunch time. And who knows, man, maybe this team is, still a little fatigued in terms of just the intensity, especially the core of this team, the intensity they had to expend last year. Maybe they didn't get a ton of
Through the
offseason.
off season, yeah.
And so maybe they're feeling a little bit of that. But what we need to see is a resurgence of that level of intensity from this team, because they can turn it on. We've seen them do it now a couple of times, and they need to start turning this thing on a regular basis.
Very true. And you know how it is when you're the world champ. Everybody wants to beat you, even if you're the 27-win Chicago White Sox, especially when they've got their guy on the hill. They're trying to win that one. And the White Sox, I mean, you think any of them boys are having any fun getting beat every night? There's a bunch of good talent on those White Sox teams. But there is, guys like Lewis Robert and those dudes ain't having any fun right now getting beat every night. And I'm sure Eric Fetty, the same thing. And Eric Fetty's a guy that's on like a 2 or 3 year really club friendly deal coming back from the KBO last year. So he's going to be really sought after here in the next 10 days.
Yeah, he's got a nice little contract on there, and he's a guy that definitely would be worth something because of the contract, number one, but also, he does pit. He'd be a great back of the rotation kind of guy for a competitor, because he can keep the pitch count down, keep your bullpen fresh.
Pitches to contact.
Yeah, really, really, I really like the way he pitches, and I really would like to see more pitchers. The changes and I don't know what he was like before. But he really reminds me, like when we talked about what the Rangers did with Teodo, with kind of moving him from throwing balls straight down the middle, throwing straight pitches to throwing the cutter. That seems like his game plan. He just throws that.
There in Korea, he really took off with that slider cutter combo where he sets you up on the outside corner with cutters on the outside part, and then throws that sweeper that looks like it's going to be around the plate, and then it dives way out of the strike zone. So yeah, I think somebody over there in Korea said, hey, look, you need to stop throwing so many fastballs and start throwing cutters and sweepers or sliders or whatever it is that he considers it.
Yeah, and he's got some good command on his pitches. But, the moral of this story right now is just that I would like to see better at-bats from the Rangers overall, because when they want to, they can crank it up. But we've seen so much what I would say seems like just bat waving and early in the game chasing and really just not coming in locked in. And when they have to, you see that this team has the capability to do that. We'll talk a little bit about the game in a sec. Let's talk real quick. I know you had a minor league. Down.
Normally we talk about these kind of things on the Down on the Farm show, but this week we did draft for the Down on the Farm show. So I was just going to let everybody know that Baseball America considered Paulino Santana the best hitter at the Dominican Summer League All-Star Game. And that's saying a little something, considering how many good 16 through 21-year-old kids are playing at the Dominican Summer League right now. And it says a lot about what the Rangers did this offseason in their international class, when a guy like Yolfran Rodriguez or Castillo has already moved past the Dominican Summer League, and he's getting at bats every night at the Arizona Fall League, with the idea that he may be out on the road down east by next month.
Yeah, and it's really exciting to hear that with the draft that we talked about, and how excited you were about the draft, how excited you were about the draft, and how excited you got us about the draft. So to know the Rangers have a nice crop of really kids that can come in and help this thing sooner than later because of all the college drafts. And about these young kids moving up through the system so quickly.
And another really nice point, a big thing for the Rangers, not a huge thing, but the Rangers signed Josh Sanders, who was a really good pitcher last year for Texas Tech, as an undrafted free agent today. So Rangers making a couple of moves, signing some guys. We're seeing some of the Dominican Summer League guys start getting some of the notice that we kind of have seen since January, all the way through spring training and when the DSL started back in June. So, so starting to see guys like Yulfren and Paulino Santana get the credit that they're, deserved as the players they are. You're starting to see those Rangers international prospects get back strong like they've always been.
Yeah. And it's exciting too that, to know that the Rangers are set up kind of across the board in terms of like we talked about with the younger with the players that they got in the draft this year being mostly college players, and then having a pretty successful international signing this year. I think the Rangers did some good work there reloading. Real quick before we start jumping in and talking about these box scores and previewing these next couple games, since we're here talking about the draft,
I got one more real quick.
Please.
Tyler Mahle feeling good. Going to continue his rehab with Frisco this week. So I think we're getting a lot closer. We talked about his 2 2/3 that he threw the other day. And now we're going to, see it one more time. Hopefully we'll see him get up to a point where he's at 75 pitches or so.
Yeah. And, I'm pretty optimistic about him coming back, and I think we all are. And I think we're all ready to see what Mahle can do at the big league level. I mean, especially I think I've kind of beat it to a dead horse here about the offense, but at the same time, the more pitching that you have, I think the better that it's going to be for this team. And we're just ready to see Mahle pitch. I mean, we've been talking about it. It's time to get down to business. Not the smoothest segue, but I was just about to tell you guys real quick about our exclusive content down on the farm with the boys. We cover all things Rangers, minor league. We have our draft episode where we covered the majority of the Texas Rangers draft. One thing I was going to point out about the draft, they don't go like 40 rounds anymore. So a lot of these undrafted free agents are guys that probably would have gotten picked later in the draft, but they're picking these guys and signing them, and it's kind of like go get what you can, and probably turns into somewhat of a small bidding war. They did this in the NFL too. And I like it because I think it gives these later guys a chance to maybe bargain for their future, or it helps certain teams kind of that want to spend a little bit of money to boost up their roster. That gives them the chance to do that. But we'll probably mention, if there's any more of those coming up, we'll probably mention those as well on our next upcoming episode of Down on the Farm with the Boys. But if you want to know about this draft, especially these first 10 rounds, go check out our exclusive content Down on the Farm with the Boys. Go check it out on our website, TexasRangersWithTheBoys.com.
All one word.
Or you can just go over to Spotify, click that subscribe button. It's just $1.99. You make us your one-stop shop for all things Rangers, organization-wide. Go check it out. You won't regret it. Upcoming this week, we're going to talk about our top 10 around the minor leagues, since they're going to be getting back going, and there's going to be, minor league baseball will be back in full swing this week. And, the Rangers have some guys possibly at the major league level that might be playing in the minor leagues this week.
And it'll be top 10 since the All-Star break this week instead of top 10 for the week.
There you go. Top 10 since the All-Star break. So we're going to have some stuff to talk about. It's going to be fun. Looking forward to it. Speaking of fun stuff to talk about, without further ado, man, let's talk about this Rangers win. It was the White Sox. It was ugly, but they did something they've only done 3 times all year long, and that was win the game, come back and win a game. And they did it in dramatic fashion. Wyatt Langford, the hero with the walk-off double, but a lot of players chipped in and made that thing happen. And we can talk about that, but let's jump into the game itself. Michael Lorenzen goes out and gives another really solid start. The walks were back down.
The walks were the big, I think, really. Ks were up, walks were down. But that was the biggest thing you noticed in his box score this week, is the fact that he only walked 2 batters. And honestly, you can't ask for much more than what Lorenzen gave you. I mean, he gave you 5 innings, a couple of runs on the board. He struck out 8. I think he would have probably liked to have hit a couple of more bats to keep his pitch count down a little bit and get the team 6 when he's throwing well like that. But today they got a pretty good outing from Jose Leclerc, and he's been pretty decent his last several outings. So, we roll with the Tide. Tonight was a little bit more of a pressure situation, being in a tie game in the 5th or the 6th and 7th innings. So good to see that. He had 4 Ks in 2 innings. So on paper it looks really good from Jose Leclerc. And you did say that you thought that was
this was his best 2 innings. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say all year. Like, this was his best 2 innings all freaking year. Yes, he's been better lately. But my big beef with Leclerc, number one, I mean, he wasn't very good early on when we really needed to get off to a good start. It wasn't just him, though. But he's kind of like the drama queen. Every time he comes out there, something gives up stolen bases because he's not keeping guys on. He walks, gives up a hit. It's just some kind of drama, and it gets a little tiring because the guy is too damn good. He should be doing what Robertson and Yates do, going out there lawn mowing guys down, but he just for some reason mental focus isn't there on a regular basis. Now these 2 innings, I mean, he was like clockwork. He was sharp. He was efficient.
Yeah, and
in the strike zone, he wasn't walking guys. He wasn't playing around. His demeanor looked different, So
and it was really good too. On top of that, no mistakes from the team around him, so it didn't put him in a spot where he starts to panic or get into the spot or
he
whatever.
Was in a high leverage spot too. This situation he came in at has been a situation where the Rangers have actually really struggled this year, and that's tie ball games, close ball games. Starter leaves, and the guy comes in and blows it, gives up a couple of runs, and that puts the offense in a spot. This time it was our top guys that gave the Rangers a little bit of some issues. There was an issue with the ball, and David Robertson got a little fired up because he wanted to throw a baseball that the ump didn't want him to throw. And we also saw Bruce Bochy get ejected out of the game today because of what was it?
Was that arguing after an instant replay? It
was arguing because what happened was the guy foul tips the ball. Okay, Jonah Heim catches the foul tip. Okay, so now the play's dead. The play is dead.
And
right?
Robert steals.
Right. The guy steals, but when Jonah Heim gets up to throw the ball after he's caught it to throw, the ball flies out of his hand. Well, the ump basically ignores the foul tip into the glove and calls it a stolen base, gives him the base, and Bruce Bochy's like, I thought that's a dead ball when he makes contact on the ball's dead. That's like a foul ball. How do you advance a base on a foul ball? And it didn't make any sense. It just didn't make sense. And maybe there's a caveat rule there because in essence,
I don't know if there is a caveat rule there, but once he can't make the transfer cleanly, it makes you think that there is something to that.
Yeah. Well, and if he goes to make it, I don't know. I don't know how it works, because if I were to run it in my head, if the foul tips the ball, and let's say it was a foul ball and he catches it, right? Well, technically Robert couldn't advance a base. So there's something different about a foul tip into the glove before in a pitching situation like that, as opposed to like a fly ball that gets fouled and then you catch it. So I don't know the rules on that, but I think Bochy was just kind of like not happy about it. And I think Bochy, they said that Bochy didn't even have his lineup card on him when he got back to the dugout. So maybe Bochy went out there and got himself
tried to light a fire. Yeah, maybe he wasn't liking what he was seeing.
Yeah, and it worked. Well, it worked because this is the White Sox, and the team just seemed very lackadaisical all night long until really the fire got until they lit a fire under their butt. And hats off to Lorenzen, because he came out intense, just like all year long. The starters have come out with their A game almost all year. It's been the offense that has been just really sluggish coming out of the gate. Now Simeon, that home run he hit was a laser, dude. I mean, there was no arc on that thing at all. It was just boom, just a laser beam.
Yeah. Tavares hit a nice little
Same thing.
bomb there. Yeah, he got right in on that. It must have been a cutter that didn't move just a ton.
Yeah, because he hit that over the bullpen. But,
Yeah,
like to have that
right.
bullpen right there. He hit it over the bullpen. It was a shot. I mean, Tavares hit
I
a
saw
shot.
I saw the quote or it on Twitter. I saw it on Twitter, the highlight or whatever. Yates threw one bad pitch, got punished.
I mean, God
Other
forbid
than
the guy
that,
gets up a home run once in like the whole season.
yeah,
I'm not mad at Yates for anything at this point.
yeah, I mean that ERA jumped to like 124. You might as well kick him off the team,
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the guy's hanging out with Clase right now.
And on top of that, it wasn't a safe situation, so it wasn't exactly his spot. Like they're trying to get that shut down inning and walk things off in the ninth, which would have worked out pretty good had he had the shutdown inning there, because they did put things together in the bottom of the ninth there. Big 2-out hit from Jonah Heim in the ninth, and I thought Hernandez was really good tonight.
Well, Hernandez did what he needed.
I've been just watching where his pitches were kind of pinpointed.
Well, the heroics really, Wyatt Langford's kind of the hero. He gets the double,
Definitely
that gets
walk
things
off.
going. And then he gets the double first to get onto second base. Then Lowe gets him over to third, and then
he stole third base.
Oh, I'm sorry, he stole third base, and you should have seen the way he stole third base. He stole on the non-pitch. Like the pitcher didn't even pitch the ball. He just ran to third base on the pitcher because there's nobody covering third.
That explains because there was a pitcher step off, and it was like Langford steals third. Then there was the pitcher step off. So he just took third. But
he just walked over. He literally just walked over to third.
Good at bat there from Lowe. He fouled off a handful of pitches there to work that thing back after falling behind 0-2 to take that walk. And Jonah Heim got ahead in that count, and then got fooled on a pretty good slider and got himself into a 2-strike count on a pitch up, and it probably was a borderline strike.
Walk by Lowe. That's how Lowe got on base. That's right. It was a walk.
Well, yeah, he walked. Because he fell behind 0-2 and worked that walk. That was a good at bat.
I was concerned at that point, man. I was like, God, man, ugh. And then Heim big hits two nights in a row here.
Yes, the 3-run job on Sunday, and then last night with the big hit.
Just a single up the middle, but did what had to get done to get Langford.
But it was what was needed right there. Yep. It was was needed right there.
And then some we had some some dramatics in the ninth. You have Jankowski on. He ends up over at third base.
So he ran for Foscue, correct?
Yeah, and then you have Tavares gets out there. Simeon comes up. He gets – I can't remember what happened with Simeon. I think he got out. He got out with like a strikeout or something. But then they walk Seager and walk Smith back to back to get
to Langford.
Yes.
Did they? I guess with the right-handed pitcher in there.
Well, this guy only was throwing sweepers. He didn't throw a fastball. He didn't throw anything but sweepers. And he was eating up. He ate Simeon up with him, and they thought for sure he's going to come in there and eat up Langford, which he was eating Langford up with him, but he left one out there, and Langford just smashed it.
So they worked the sacrifice there with Leote, correct?
The sack bunt sends him over to third. There it is.
To third. Then he had
honestly, hats off to Leote, because the Rangers haven't been good in that situation all year long. So to see them be able to
got it down,
you need to if you're not this offensive juggernaut like they were, then you need to be able to produce runs however you can get guys over to make stuff happen, because they've been able to get singles. If there's one thing this team has done all year well, they can get some singles, because every one of these guys are getting singles. So
it's up in that slug, getting that slug point where they're actually slugging some, and it doesn't help on that last at bat either, because Wyatt Langford's only going to be credited for a single on that ball that bounces off the base of the wall. I mean, come on, kid, you got to get that, hit the weight room and get that ball out of the park and have yourself a walk-off grand slam. What's wrong with you, son?
Yeah, and I'm just kidding, but The
But,
double he hit
really,
was opposite field. So the double he hit an opposite field, basically a single, but it kind of carried a little bit, and the guy had to kind of turn. It was a play that if that was
and
Mookie Betts out
Tommy
there,
Pham isn't exactly the biggest arm in baseball in
that's
right
Mookie
field
Betts.
too.
You ain't getting that one. Mookie Betts has got you down by. He's got you out by a mile there at second.
Yeah, probably Dolly too, but
Well, it's
you could take that on Tommy Pham.
Because the boy the ball was hit, he had to catch it like, with his back turn and then make a body turn.
Yeah,
Like a guy like because I don't think Adolis Garcia would have got him either, because Betts is going to take a shorter angle on that ball because he's fast, because of his speed.
Yeah.
He's going to take a shorter angle on that ball and the cannon, so you're not going to get it on him. Like, that's something that Betts, that's just one of those, you get the Mookie Betts, like, privileges that you get for having a guy.
Fortunately, he plays shortstop now, so it doesn't
Exactly.
even
It's
matter.
like, but like Langford was going through all the way, dude. He wasn't even thinking about it. Slides in.
Didn't even look at Ragsdale there at first.
I was like, are they going to steal home with Langford? Because nobody was holding him on at third. I'm like,
halfway down the line, because you got right hand or left-handers behind him with Jonah Heim there.
I know they weren't going to, but it just
really big. I mean, honestly, I feel like this is an accomplishment win tonight because it's a comeback win. They got the one against Chicago's ace, and let's be honest, Eric Fetty's having a really terrific season. He's probably one of the most thought after pitchers on the trade market right now. So the Rangers, they get the tough one, and now they've got a couple here back to back. They got John Gray going tomorrow night. They've got Nathan Eovaldi looking for a bounce back on or tonight. I'm sorry, Gray tonight, Eovaldi on Wednesday. They don't have Scherzer as the scheduled starter on Thursday, which we'll talk about that on Thursday or Wednesday night if there's anything to talk about there. He may be placed in there before things, but we'll see what happens. So the Rangers got a couple of big ones coming up in the next couple of days. You never know, they might get Dane Dunning a start on Thursday. We'll just have to wait and see. But last night, if we want to put a bow on it real quick, Jonathan Hernandez moves to 3-0. And Wilson, is it Steve Wilson, I think? I believe it's Steve Wilson. Yeah, Steven Wilson, he takes the loss there.
I like Steve better.
He's 1-6 with a 3.25 ERA. So that's a little bit of tough luck right there. I mean, he gives up an unearned run. A 3.25 ERA is really solid.
He's a one-pitch guy too, man. He's a good, but that sweeper, man, that thing, because it starts at the bottom of the zone, and it's just got that, like, in that, if he throws it in that perfect spot, like, righties they just don't. It's just hard to lay off a pitch like that, man. I mean, 'cause I feel like to them it probably looks like it's gonna hang a little, it's gonna hang some, and they're gonna really get some good contact on like a hanging sweeper. But
it falls off the page.
Yeah, it does. It dives down out of the zone, and it's like, I don't know. I can't blame him because like you see what happens when he leaves it up just a little bit. Langford, pow. So
and Seager and Smith are two guys that are seeing it from a different angle, and if he leaves it up there, So I mean, the intentional walks it makes sense. You got runners or you got forces everywhere. But
Wilson's another guy that gets traded.
I wouldn't be shocked either. He's having a really good
season. Those
season.
guys that could really specialty guy for like on a playoff team that could really help you against a team that's got some really solid right-handers. So he's a guy I could see getting traded too. I don't know what it's
tomorrow. They see another All-Star.
Yeah, man, they got
Crochet. I think they're seeing Crochet at a good time. I think he's getting a little tired from the extended innings this year after having. Yeah. So I'd be interested to see how he throws tomorrow. John Gray on the hill for the Rangers, and then on Wednesday, the Rangers will throw Nathan Eovaldi and Chris Flexen. He's a 30-year-old right-hander. He's 2-9 with a 5.22 ERA, just eating up innings for the White Sox as of right now. So, chance to go out there and put something on him, but we'll just see how things go. The Rangers have a tendency to make those guys that they should be destroying look pretty good.
Yeah. Also, just mentioning Crochet, he's at 180 career innings pitched as of right now. This is his first time over 100 pitches. I mean, over 100 innings as a professional. The other thing we can always hope for, Bull, is maybe he gets traded like before the game.
Tomorrow morning. Yeah, tomorrow morning.
He's
Like
traded.
he's throwing his bullpen before the game and gets pulled. Yeah, no, it wouldn't hurt my feelings. But no, Garrett Crochet, he's going to be a good pitcher for a lot of years. But I think they're catching him at an ideal time. And who knows, he may just go out and throw a no-hitter tomorrow. But I feel like they're catching him at a good time tomorrow or tonight with the extended innings that he's already thrown this year.
Yeah. Rangers need to handle some business tonight with against Chicago. So I got nothing else. You got nothing else?
No, not a ton going on. It's the end of July. We'll probably have, as Wednesday or Thursday morning rolls around, we'll probably have some roster moves and stuff to talk about. But yeah, as of right now, we're just watching games. Rangers pulled a 2-2 after the All-Star break, after a quick 0-2 start. So now it's time to get on the other side of that and finish this homestand up 5-2.
Yeah, and then I'm gonna just make a sneak peek. You got Athletics beating the Astros top of the ninth 4-0 right now. So it's looking like, unless a miracle happens, Astros are losing that game. And then the Mariners are up 1-0 against the Angels right now on the top of the 8th. So it's very possible that the Rangers could make up some good ground, tonight and end up 4 games back from both these cats in the division. But really, that doesn't matter. The Rangers got to do what they need to
keep winning. They just got to keep winning
ball
games.
They need to do, and the rest of this thing's going to work itself out. So. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to check us out on social media, TX Rangers WTV. Don't forget to check out the website, TexasRangersWithTheBoys.com.
All one word.
Also, don't forget to check out our exclusive content, Down to the Farm with the Boys. We cover all things Rangers, minor league. Big shout out to our farm hands who, dedicated. We love you guys. Thanks for hanging with us and following us. Also, one more, just a quick mention to our guys on fantasy baseball. Big shout out to all you guys. The boys take an 8-game lead in first place right now. At least it justifies a little bit of why we run the podcast maybe for now, but it's a long season still, even in fantasy, man. So anything can happen in the playoffs. So let's.
Yeah, I'd like to take this moment right now to take every bit of credit for everything that's going right in the fantasy league for our team.
I give you all the credit in the world. Big shout out to Josh's Candy Shop, who they've turned it around and become second. They're rolling hot in second place. Tell your brother I'm sorry that I had to blank him 10-0.
He's got a lot of good things going on in his life, so I doubt it's going to hurt his feelings too much.
Probably not at all. Hey, also, again, thanks to everybody who watched us right here on YouTube at the Sports Fluent Network. Big shout out to the Sports Fluent Network as well, just for putting up with our BS.
And hey, thanks for everybody that's listening to Spotify. It changed up a little bit different, so if you hear the format is a little bit different on intros and all that stuff, I don't know how to do it yet.
Yeah, but we're still going to talk baseball. You get baseball.
Hell yeah, every night, every 4 nights a week.
Baseball.
4 nights a week, we're still going to talk baseball.
For the 300-pound manimal, this is your boy Kev. We are Texas Rangers with the boys. We're signing out.